for the whole Division 2 of the DPC this season, and kicking it off very well. Not only 2-0, but a dominating 2-0. We got to learn a little bit more about this unknown team of sorts, but perhaps a more formidable opponent in the cut here in this series now, Waga.
Yeah, I think so. This will be a true test here, and we see P-Squad East running into his opponents here alone. He is Spirit Breaker, but he's gonna go down. There's no way out of this. Too early on the game, you know, you don't have any wave to charge, no way to escape.
So to that point, you're talking about East, again, formerly Ifrit. He is technically he's their position 5 player, and Crawler played Spirit Breaker the 2 games earlier in the previous series a couple of days ago. So that's what I was wondering. Were we going to see East just play the Rubik and have Crawler play the Spirit Breaker? That's not the case. It is East on the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, it's probably just a lot of adjusting between comfort zones. Every team does this usually when they have like heroes like Rubik as well are good examples. Perhaps Crawler just, you know, really wants to be the Rubik player in the team. So when they pick it, he's like, you know, you can take the Spirit Breaker.
It's something to be said too. Again, Ifrit does have a history of being more of a core player himself, and not to say he can't be a support player, but Rubik is one of those, especially, you know, taking abilities, knowing when to use what abilities. It takes a bit more practice on, so you're getting, where I'm getting at is, you know, I wonder if that's also a factor here, that Crawler just simply has more experience playing Rubik specifically. Perhaps part of it too.
Could also just be the Yapsor effect on Rubik, right? Where you want to turn yourself into a core, you just happen to let your core die, and then whoops, I'm farming on Rubik. What is that? I have Etherlens and Eul Scepter minute 15 or something. Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so we're in the pause now, so it gives us a little bit more time to, you know, figure out, analyze what's going on right here. So yeah, this 4th pick Broodmother. How much of an impact do you think Satoshi is going to be setting up for to have this game?
Well, I really have never watched Satoshi play Broodmother. Judging by the great bar here of Dota Plus, he's a bronze tier Brood, so that's the most scary one, because you don't know, does he actually have Dota Plus purchased? It could be a spammer that's a bronze. Bronze, you never know.
It's a separate account that he has where he's just level 30 on Broodmother that no one knows about. No, we're gonna have to reconnect here, but
I think it's a pretty good Broodmother game. I don't think it's a fantastic one, but I think he can probably do what they want him to do, which is, you know, judging by their playstyle, it's kind of smoke and mirrors, right? They use Ease, Rabish, and also Satoshi to create the space for Snow, and I think Broodmother's one of the best heroes in the game at generating space for her team. That's truly the power of this hero, and it's why we see her picked almost every single series, picked or banned.
So it's very safe to say the cut clearly analyzed that first series that Penguin Squad had. That was kind of an advantage that cut did have, of course, going into this matchup now, where they haven't played it themselves, but at least technically here this season. But where I'm getting at is because we talked a lot about the bans, but also just this draft in general. It does feel like a very formidable draft for going up against a run at you strategy. You know, their cores are a Death Prophet and a Bristleback, right? They have these reaction abilities from the Centaur and the Silencer. So overall, you like the TC draft?
Yeah, I think their idea with the global presence there that you hinted on is very good. They have the Stampede and the global silence, really big turnaround when something goes down. Can be a way to react to the Spirit Pick charging in. But it's more important to me how the lanes are going to go here. And for now, you know, having that silencer in your team as well, one big reason you pick him is because he's such a good lane presence. His bully potential is really high with that curse.
Yeah, you see all the mangoes in hand as well, and the curse spam has begun, so that's something that Penguin Squad, of course, is going to have to deal with up at the top lane. The mid matchup, though, Death Prophet versus Medusa, I believe. Courier's dead. Okay, well, tried to escape.
Awkwardly stuck there in the corner, and couldn't really get out.
I was going to say, though, Death Prophet versus Medusa, I believe I heard you mention that you think Medusa could definitely have a decent time.
I think so. So far, though, Sadman has actually outplayed him quite a bit, I would say. He got a better first wave initiation there. He pulled the creeps in a good way, let the Medusa tank, and when you're a ranged hero on mid lane, you do not want to get 3 melee creeps running at you. It hurts so bad. So, just so far, Sadman is doing a good job mechanically here on mid.
9-6 versus the 9-2. Snow's take some decent damage there. Has that mana shield up. Not a lot of mana in life, let alone to work with, but he is going to survive and getting that regen, of course, delivered out. And that leaves us the bottom lane. Haven't really mentioned too much on it yet, but it is that safe lane. Mars, once again, Rabish, the one playing it, going up against the Centaur Sky Warden. Or Skywrath Mage, wow. Wouldn't that be so Sky Warden? Thinking of names here. But the Spirit Breaker protected him. But yeah, how do you see this lane playing out?
I think it's a little bit favored, like Fear said earlier, that Centaur should have a good start. I mean, it's Centaur against 2 melee heroes. You're super happy about this. Having the Skywrath as well with that concussive shot, you can set up the stun, and we're going to see just that.
That was interesting right there. I believe he meant to spear the Skywrath, but Centaur stepping in front and taking the spear for his teammate, and obviously allowing Skywrath to even respond a bit with the concussive shot, etc. But yeah, a lot of harassment back and forth.
I'm confused he didn't hoof stomp there. I mean, you just use it. You have 2 mangoes as well for mana. Might as well get some extra damage on the Spirit Breaker, but doesn't go for it.
Yeah, holding on to that. Like you said, 2 mangoes in hand, so that might have been the one thing. It's like, I just want to waste the mana, but he certainly has the ability to gain that back. But either way, holding on to it and using that level 2 double edge. And he has leveled up as they push it into the tower. Top lane, I was going to say Satoshi was getting a little low right there, but Insatiable Hunger comes out and
he's
he'll
taking so much quill damage, though. He's at 6. That's a lot of quill stacks. So even though he used his Insatiable Hunger, he only got like 2 right clicks out. Doesn't get to heal up that much. And he went for a 2-1-0 build on Brood. This is not your average build. This is very strange. Normally you want to go for a 1-1-1, or you want to go for, you know, even a 0-0-2-1. But going for 2 points in the hunger and not getting to right click, that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, that's those quill stacks. Really got to respect it. Crawler, by the way, is going for this bounty rune. Taking that curse. He gets the bounty rune, but is he actually able to get out of here? I mean, he's a little fast. Silencer, not worth the chase. They're trying to figure out where he's going, I suppose. They're pinging it out, but he does have a TP. He's just going to buy as much time as possible and eventually TP out. So gets the bounty rune.
Yeah, attempted a little bit for the courier hunt there, but he's not even going to TP out, knowing that then he would take so long to get to a lane. So he just runs into a tower. Silencer gets the kill, but not going to get any int for this since the tower killed and he wasn't nearby.
Or that works too, I suppose. The free teleport.
Mid lane is such a shutdown right now. Sadman is just playing this really well. I didn't see this lane being that difficult, but I think a lot of it just stems down to that first wave. And look now, coming in with a help here from Silencer. He wants that int. Or does he? Ah, he doesn't have a point in Glaives yet, so he just walks away. He's like, I can't get int.
Oh. No
Feels
point,
bad.
Death Prophet. Yeah, I mean, Death Prophet had that. The Siphon spam for Death Prophet has to be the key as well. I feel like just any time Medusa gets close enough as Siphon comes out, it's now even level 3 Siphon, obviously setting up for the kill. Bottom lane, charge on in. Skywrath Mage thought he was being sneaky, not sneaky enough. They find him in the trees, he gets taken out. Ravish is going to TP back to base and regen before being hunted down by Chive, so he's going to do some auto attack damage there. But the first kill on the board for Penguin Squad.
Yeah, good for him to get something, but it's going to take a while for Mars to get back to the lane. At least they have Spirit Breaker on the lane trying to get something, but this is more time and space for the Centaur, who already was having a good start. All across the board, CS is looking great for the cut. Laning stage working out great for them. 33 and 3 on Bristleback, 28-7 Centaur, 27-13 denies on the mid lane by DP.
Rubik gets the courier kill, but he might be regretting that one. The viscous nasal goo adding up. You see the 3 stacks as well as those quills. The viscous nasal goo will actually wear off right there, but another couple of quill spans that should be killed. Snow, by the way, goes down in the mid lane during this, so Scorch McDuck will pick up the top lane kill, diving all the way to the tower. They also take out Medusa. Oh, the cut. They really found an early groove.
I like their move now. They're realizing that they're having a good start in every single core, so they don't need to sit and babysit them with their supports. So both supports are now moving and playing in Fog of War. So instead of just, you know, showing on lanes and letting the enemy be safe, the cut are activating their supports. And there's really no way for Medusa to farm if they do this.
You see these supports, right? Is both Skywrath Mage and Silencer are kind of going back and forth between the top and the mid lane, figure out where to ultimately go. And he's here in the mid is taking a lot of damage against the Death Prophet. He's fine, but had to be careful if he hung around a little bit longer. Might have been ganked, but not the case there. Rubik doing some stacking off to the side, but this mid lane is getting a lot of attention right now with the exorcism use.
Yeah, and with the slow as well.
They're really going for this. He's going to charge on to the Death Prophet, trying to help his teammate, if anything, get away. But look at this positioning from the cut in between the towers. They are feeling confident.
Yeah, they're just really good using their exorcism as soon as possible. They haven't gotten too much tower damage with it though, as they ran through there, trying now to get some onto the tower before it ends, positioning himself nicely on the DP. And the cut, they're playing sharp.
I see what you did there. Exorcism coming back in right now. So this Medusa, we mentioned, we saw in the previous series too. I mean, Snow really more of that carry player for the team as far as scalability. Of course, playing the Medusa right here. When do you think about adjusting him, moving him maybe to that safe lane, protecting him a bit more?
I think his move would probably not be to go down to the safe lane, because there's also the Centaur who might stampede in on you. I think more so he might move to a triangle, but the triangle is warded. Look at the wards. I think the cut have completely done their homework. They are putting so much attention to mid lane. They have wards behind the tower, they have wards on the ancients. Wherever Medusa goes, she's under vision, and that means she can get ganked.
Well, and they see this. So to that point, they see Medusa doing this pretty big stack over here. The question is, can they really react to it in time? And so far, it doesn't look like they're able to. In fact, top lane, Bristleback is trying to worry about surviving up here, as Crawler telekinesis just out of range, and Bristleback will be fine. But now back to Medusa. So again, we mentioned they saw her this whole time. They are going to eventually dive on top. They realize the support came to the top lane, and they have a free kill on Medusa. So yeah, she got some of that farm, but it's almost all taken away because of that death.
I think Snow is getting tilted a bit from the way they're playing. He had TP ready the entire time. That's just a Skywrath and a DP. You can Magic Stick and TP out just fine. He had no reason to die there. That was just a misplay on his part.
Oh yeah, very good point. I don't know what he would have expected to come to stop. Yeah, really, they don't have a lot of TP stoppers in general when you look at it here on this dire side. So even more to that point, there's not really any rotations that could have happened necessarily. But Ruvik, by the way, he is dead. Skywrath just pressing abilities, securing that kill. It also helps secure that mid-tower kill. Yeah, I mean, the cut is just, everything is going right for them right now. It's an early 3,000 net worth lead.
Yeah, and we see his stats there on screen for a second. 0 building damage by any player on Radiant. And yeah, with the way that the cut are going here, you're not getting close to the towers.
So that first series showing of Penguin's squad spoiling us perhaps a little bit. I know it's still early in game one of this one, but the cut more so, really showing why they're a team that has that history of multiple Division 1 appearances and expected to be one of the top teams here this time around in Division 2. But top lane rotation, Scourge McDuck, Arena's out. This is a Bristleback, but it's 4 heroes and a lot used. So they do secure the kill, and it's now 2-7. And speaking of no tower damage, they're going to get a little bit here finally.
Yeah, might get quite a bit. 20 seconds for the Bristleback to respawn. They might opt to try and defend this, but oh, actually they don't have Glyph yet. It's 30 seconds cooldown still. So yeah, that tower is gonna go down. They're just gonna sack that one on the side of Dire here. They might make a smoke towards top though, but this is kind of awkward. You're smoking into 4 heroes with only 3. Can they really take this fight?
Well, they know Arena's down. Double damage on Death Prophet. She has Exorcism, so the left. Oh, Centaur! No! Oh, Centaur MVP, and I don't mean the hero, I mean the minion. That neutral creep doing a work, setting up the 3-player stun. They're gonna kill 2 of them, and Mars will at least be able to survive. But yeah, that's one of those forehead smack moments if you're Penguin Squad.
That's why they didn't pick so many stuns. They knew the neutrals will solve it. That triple man stun there was just devastating. I thought that they were actually in position to maybe take the fight there. They had high ground, they had 4 heroes. Sure, they had cooldown on Arena, but they could maybe have reacted to those 3 people smoking into them. But no, that was an insane neutral moment right there.
I thought for a second Centaur Warwarner actually had a blink and showed up all of a sudden, but no, he doesn't even, he almost has his blink. Speaking of that, in fact, another couple of creep kills, he'll have it, so that's something else that they will actually have to worry about, the Centaur stomp initiation here in just a matter of seconds moving forward. So just another thing that's going so well for the cut. And speaking of Centaur, he might be in some trouble here as they're gonna smoke gank on top, and doesn't have a blink yet. Even with it, not gonna matter. Even the global silence used in response, but there's no way he's getting out of that one.
Yeah, they tried to save, but the global silence is not quite gonna cut it there. That was a nice move again. They're getting value out of the arena as soon as possible, but they're moving so many heroes for this. Meanwhile, on the side of the cut, they're just prioritizing farm. You shut down one, it doesn't really do that much because both the other cores are still on the map and farming, playing greedy, and right now all three of them are sitting well ahead of P Squad.
Look at this Death Prophet. That's when you know you're confident. Literally just running into the Radiant jungle. I mean, it has a little bit of vision, I suppose, but you know, doesn't even have exorcism, but has a regen rebuttal. The point is, feeling confident as he should be, and just gonna eventually make his way to the mid lane, where the rest of the teammates are.
Blink reveal didn't quite catch that TP out there. Got out just in time. Nice by Crawler on his Rubik. Didn't stick around too long.
Purple Bounty Rune, meanwhile, taken out by Scourge McDuck right there, so nice little bounty for the team as a whole. As Medusa's just trying to farm the bottom lane, but it's gonna have to deal with some heroes soon, and here they come. Silence is up, Stampede already used. Spirit Breaker is doing his best to help, but what can Spirit Breaker do other than be like, ah crap, now I'm in trouble? I think East might be dead as well.
I think he's gonna go down too. There's no way to really get out of that one.
Oh, unfortunate right there for the side of Penguin Squad, but more so, again, the cut, they're playing so well, and look at that right there. esportsbet.io, it's launching soon, a watch to earn platform. For more information, join their Discord, but right now, Penguin Squad behind in those odds, and understandable now. It's making a bit more sense, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah, the cuts are coming in here and playing very, very good. Very controlled Dota. They had great laning stage and they're using the most out of it. They have now the blink and they're gonna get another kill here on Medusa, I think.
Dead again, and he's also dead again. Can he at least get a turn kill? Yes, they can. Onto the Death Prophet. You see Crawler taking advantage of that level 4 siphon that he stole, using it to even help run down the Centaur War Runner, and we'll make the kill happen there. So double kill for Ravish, but this Medusa, only with a Yasha, 14 plus minutes in, 4,800 net worth, 3,000 behind the Bristleback on the other side. It's they need to really find any kind of room for Snow right now to recover.
Yeah, they're completely doing exactly what we were talking about, what I was hyping up on the panel as a necessary action against this team. Shut down that mid laner. He's died 5 times now. He's the least farmed out of all cores, and he is the one core that actually only wants to farm. He's Medusa. So yeah, this is a great showing so far by TC.
I don't know why. It's crazy to me that this lineup, with the lack of stuns on the cut side, could just literally run up to a hero like Mars like that and kill him. Like, that was a silencer and a Death Prophet that just ran up to Mars and killed him.
I feel like there's so many moments where they have died where they just didn't use the fact that they had TP ready, to be honest. It is a lot of misplays or, you know, not abusing the weakness of the cuts draft. When you play against a team that has literally 1 stun, then you need to abuse. If Centaur is not there, you can always opt to just leave if you TP in time. Sure, the Exorcism can do a lot of damage, but oh, Sadman might be in trouble. Nice silence.
This would be a big kill, but as you mentioned, the global silence in response, that's one of the reasons they picked up a silencer, to respond to that arena. And now without the arena lockdown and buying more time for supports to come in, Death Prophet not as easy of a kill. They're still trying to make it happen though, as Insatiable Hunger is active for Broodmother. Charge on through. Is it enough? It is. Finally, they take out the raid boss as Death Prophet. Oh, there's a big stomp from the Centaur War Runner, but it's too little too late. Gonna turn into that little piggy and try to make his way out of here, P-God. In the distance, and Bristleback also teleporting in, so that's the cue for P-Squad to retreat. But hey, that's one of the very few fights, if the first one really, to go the way of P-Squad.
Yeah, they got some ganks earlier, and now they got an actual fight that they got under their belt where they won it as well. They did move everyone for it, though. The thing is that the kills that they're getting, they're rotating 4 or even, in this case, 5 heroes to get the takedown. Meanwhile, on the side of the cut, they're not moving as many. And look at Scourge McDuck here. He wants to take Roche. He has the Aghanims on Bristle, and he can now stack up to 8 on this Viscous.
That nasal goo, the snot everywhere, amplified. Yeah, this Roshan, it's being scanned out, but you're not looking for a fight right now if you're Penguin Squad. No arena, you want Medusa to farm. You gotta just accept the fact that this is a free Roshan kill, as they do. And there's 5 minutes on that Aegis now in the hands of Bristleback, so it's your age-old story of Bristleback was already so hard to kill, and Now you have to kill him twice in the next 5-minute phase here. Good luck.
Yeah, I think you just have to fully ignore him. Oh yeah, they didn't nerf it down to 7, so it's 7 Viscous, but this is so good against Broodmother as well. He can now throw that at all the units if he gets close to them. And Bristleback Aghanims, it's a massive power spike now. They can turn up the pace for the tier 2 towers even with this Aegis. You don't have to go immediately, but before this Aegis times out, I'll be very surprised if the cut haven't started forcing those tier 2s.
Well, Waga, we can't, and neither can the cut forget about Broodmother. You know, it's one of those games where Broodmother's kind of quietly been doing her own thing. And the net worth is showing, keeping up with at least the Centaur and the Death Prophet. Obviously, Bristleback on a league of his own, but, you know, has the Guardian Greaves, Hooded Defiant. This is a very aura-heavy, ready-to-teamfight build, and gonna see a little bit of impact here as it's a free kill onto the Skywrath. Can they also take out Silencer? No, Stampede away. In fact, Centaur, he charges in, but now he's the new focus. He's a little tankier.
Bristol coming in from behind soon.
Oh yeah, and that's, you pointed out, that's the cue to maybe think about getting out. But Global Science is going to be activated right as that death takes place, though. So EMP down, however, Spirit Breaker calling a response down here, and there is Bristleback. He does indeed show up. Nice spear. Keeps him out for a couple of seconds. Although Broodmother's having so much trouble getting away, he's hiding in the tree. He says, please don't stick around. No, I'm not here, I swear, but the ghosts are giving it away. And the Centaur finishes the job.
Man, that's a strong. The ghosts just keep chasing you into the fog of war. If you're Broodmother, you feel like normally you're safe when you run into trees like that, but nah, they've got your number, they follow you, and this is why they straight up just can't team fight at this point on the side of P Squad. So I think they need to really split push and try to generate space, but they have been shut down. The way they generated space previously in their earlier games was by being aggressive, was by going for those ganks, but the cut are so far ahead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, so again, so much to praise about the cut as we've certainly been doing, but try to still figure out the game plan for Penguin Squad here, and also what is going good for them, or maybe the directions. You know, you have the Mantis just finished by Medusa, so start, and BKB for Mars it's coming. He's 1900 gold saved up, has the Ogre X currently.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game for BKB as well. It's going to be very, very good against the cut and their draft, so they can play around him. They have had pretty good game going on Rabish. He's 5-1-4 right now on Mars, so he's the one to lead, but oh, what? That was fortunate. that was not intended.
Meant to do that.
Yeah, he just wanted to nuke the creep wave Centaur. Unfortunately, he jumps right into it, takes a bit of damage, but he has a good regen with the pipe that he went for, so he's going to heal up fast.
Yeah. Yeah, this Medusa just sitting in the ancient camp waiting for a new spawn at 20 minutes, and they're going to farm that down again. It's a very, very scary map right now. Lack of map control on side of Penguin Squad. Of course, the opposite for the cut, as they have pretty much the Radiant jungle controlled themselves.
Yeah, and Bristol started doing exactly what we were talking about. Just take these towers. 1 minute 30 on the Aegis still. Brood is responding in turn by trying to focus the top tower, but she's just behind in tempo.
Oh, you got Exorcism ready to go. Aegis still a minute 18 remaining, so Scourge McDuck on the front lines, of course. Currently, backdoor.
Yeah, he's got that Arcane Rune as well for the Exorcism, so he can have a low cooldown one popping off. Top tower is going to go down finally to Satoshi, so they do get a tier 2 and can now take the outpost as well in the enemy jungle.
I didn't catch what pushed the creep wave away, because again, the backdoor protection was up the whole time. That, as well as Satoshi pushing top. Yeah, I mean, that's really good for Penguin Squad as far as considering where this game is at right now. They're kind of making the best of that situation.
Yeah, what Ease is doing now is just quality. It's really important that he's pulling this wave away, because as you mentioned, that backdoor protection is gonna keep the tower alive, and this Aegis timer is ticking down. They're not getting more tier 2 towers yet. Man, looking at the vision game right now looks crazy. How do the cut? They just have vision everywhere, the entire jungle. There's so many wards.
Oh, like, yeah, the Radiant jungle, that mid lane is just totally in control. They obviously have even the ancient area over here, so Medusa has to be careful about that. You got to expect that's something, but of course we'll see if Medusa is caught out by that or not. But yeah, keep going back to Satoshi is doing a fantastic job of doing what he needs to do, and also doing some damage to Chives up here at the top lane. I mean, is he actually
taking
killing
a lot?
Stampede? going to be activated for this, and Spiritbreaker's going to charge as well, so they got the vision, but you don't want to chase too far.
He's running to Bristleback. That's his safety.
Yeah. Bristle, help me! Oh, and a global silence, so now East having to be careful. Ravish popping the BKB, they're going in to spear, but nothing to spear him too, and Ravish realizing that he's got to get out, so there's that free TP.
Yeah, a bit awkward for Ravish there. He tried to get the blink in with the range for a good ulti spear, but didn't quite have the range, so his BKB was kind of for naught there. But ultimately, they get the kill, and now they have the creep wave, can finally go and slam down on both the top and mid tier 2.
Well, immediate fortification coming out, but as soon as that drops, so is this tower most likely. Mars does have the arena, so you mentioned no BKB use, but can still get a good jump. Charge on to Death Prophet. Gonna be canceled right there.
Look where Medusa is farming now. She's like, the safest part of the map is the enemy triangle at this point. You can't really farm anywhere else, so she is losing her top tier 2 already dead. Mid tier 2 probably gonna go down as well, but she's using her Manta style to cut the next wave to try and delay this.
Making the best of it, absolutely. That's what this comes back to. I mean, the Cut's done a fantastic job of getting such a hefty lead early on, but P-Squad certainly not showing signs of giving up. Snow is going to TP back to base, realizing that they're missing now, and that was the smart decision. As you do see, they're moving, and they even use a scan on their side of the map where she was, obviously missing now, but that's where you can tell they're just about 10 seconds too late.
If I was on the Cut, I would feel a little bit pressured, actually. You're 5,000 gold ahead, you're getting all these objectives, but you still didn't get the tier 2 mid, the creep wave being cut there, and Medusa is building up. She did get shut down super hard in the laning stage, but at some point, she will be a threat in this game when the Skadi comes up, and he's not too far away from it right now.
Well, and Wyatt, it's also one of those cases where the Cut, they have 5 of the 6 outer towers killed, and at 6-1, a half-life, but there's still 4 towers up to kill for Penguin Squad, so from that perspective, that's that much more bounty that they can make up, right? So
it's the optimist way to look at it, yeah, that I said the other day. The downside is that these towers, the mid and the bottom tower, they're not gonna get those before they win a team fight. So it's the paycheck after you manage to take down your opponent, but they're gonna have to do it without that extra money that, of course, Team Cut are enjoying, all that map control gold. But yeah, you gotta give it to Penguin Squad. They're actually hanging in there pretty good in this game. As I say that, Crawler immediately dies.
Well, and they're on a razor's edge at the same time, right? It's the example right there. We talk about the map control, and Rubik just oversteps a little bit too much, but Silencer overstepping. Oh, global silence used right before his death. The TP coming in for Scourge Protect as well. They are going to turn into Mars with it, and the kill on a Spirit Breaker. That global silence right before the death. Hoping to secure a couple of turn kills at least for the Cut.
Nice stun by Centaur there. He didn't have fast enough reactions on the BKB on Mars. Could maybe have BKB'd that, but it was from Fog of War on the Centaur. He didn't show himself before. So good fight for the Cut, and now maybe they can shrink the map just a little bit more and really contain Penguin Squad. What they want to do is to stop them from getting out on the map and stop them from farming. And now Medusa is in her base. So previously she was over at the Ancients happily farming. Now it's very dangerous for her to try and get back in a farming position.
Yeah, wasn't able to finish the Eye of Scotty just yet. Only needs the point booster, so really a couple of creep waves will be there. Maybe even one. Does get a level 15 talent as well, that minus 10% split shot damage penalty. Fairly significant one when you're thinking about recovering and farm. So good news there for Penguin Squad. But yeah, the map control continues for the Cut. They're just trying to restrict as much as possible. Only so much you can do against Broodmother. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this, Waka, and that this going back to the Brood, the item build. I mean, the early Guardian Groove, sure, but still going a bit more aura heavy. The Hood of Defiance was thinking about a pipe. Do you like this over even more of a right-click threat?
Yeah, I think so. In this game, it's all about trying to provide for that teamfight scenario that's going to happen later on. So the Greaves already give some good survivability, and then having the pipe and the AC, which is her plan right now, if you don't have it, well, your opponents are going to, and you're fighting into a from a disadvantage. She might get caught out here, the bait by Silencer.
That was phenomenal bait, yes. That's exactly what Silencer was doing with Centaur and crew nearby. That was the game plan for the Cut, and Broodmother got a little too antsy.
Yeah, that was nice. They were hanging around with the Centaur, just making sure that, you know, they might be able to bait him there. And he did try to commit for a Silencer who has his Force Staff as well to keep himself a little bit extra safe. Meanwhile, Medusa, she did finish up that Skadi. Her courier got sniped trying to buy it at first, but she made it to the enemy secret shop and bought it there instead.
There you go. In the inventory, another 1,500 gold saved up. So Snow, again, and you look at the net worth, is actually now 3rd overall, catching up to the Death Prophet, and of course Bristleback next in line there. And speaking of Death Prophet, this is going to close that gap a little bit. The Global Science and Response. BKB not being used by Mars just yet, though. It is used by Death Prophet. And now they're turning. Medusa can get out, though. There's the lack of TP stoppers, and it's going to be another one here. They have a lot of damage, but it's not enough to kill Ravage. So
yeah, this is more what I expected to see from the fights, honestly, that, you know, Centaur stuns once, and then there's no second stun, so you can literally just TP out with everyone. And Skywrath didn't go Atos in this game, he went Aghanims first. When you have a single stun in your team, I feel like Atos would have been better, but he does have that full Aghanims at least, so he can do hella damage with his spam.
But this is the more fun build, Waga.
For sure is.
So. That's what we're seeing here, but no, there's definitely is validity to that point, of course. Atos, perhaps the stronger one. He's not even thinking about going for that either. Thinking for an Ethereal Blade, so more damage, baby. Let's go. But,
yeah, he's gonna scale up to have quite a bit to dump in these team fights, for sure.
Believe that was a shards picked up by Death Prophet, if I'm not mistaken. Has that now either way. So she's benefiting from that. And then, of course, you have the Aegis in the hands of Bristleback. So tier 3 items have started to pop out as well, benefiting both teams. That's a kill on a Rubik.
Huh.
Found at the top.
That Skywrath ulti was invisible for me. I wonder if he had the same thing on Rubik, because he stood in it for a while before he Force Staffed. So maybe he was just not seeing it. Sometimes there's a bug on Skywrath ulti that it can be invisible. It's
I didn't
rare.
catch it, unfortunately. Well, they get the kill either way. That Ag's coming into play there. Broodmother is going to make it out. The Spiderlings maybe not so lucky. It's a lot of free farm for Bristleback. Whew. Level 20 Bristleback, by the way, the first one to do. So 20 health regen. So the Assault Cuirass, the BKB, just the general life pool in general for him. He's beefing up.
He's beefing up. I also like that he's going for the Abyssal Blade next. I think that's going to help him actually be able to lock down and kill his targets. And of course, adding those stuns that we've been talking about so much. Getting a little bit extra lockdown is useful for their team right now.
Yeah, that's certainly clutch. Obviously, we saw the solo kill taking place right there onto East, who, by the way, has a Shadow Blade on the Spirit Breaker now, but not enough to help him stay alive right there. So,
yeah, and here comes the high ground threat. 3 minutes on the Aegis, so they have that for full duration. Exorcism ready. They have to be here and defend. This is just gonna go down then. If they're not defending from the start of this, I think they're just gonna forfeit this lane of Rax.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's like, you know, pushing mid lane, wants that tower kill, taking out the outpost is Snow. So Snow is TPing back right now. Fortification used. There's a resurrection from East. Charging on in, creating the chaos initially. Bulldoze activated. So he's fine. He still has that Nether Strike, so the tower is dead. Another fortification. May the Rax, of course, the focus. The Exorcism Ghosts doing their work. Rubik doing what he can with the Crypts Room that he stole, but they are just going to give it up. I mean, you see what Broodmother's doing this whole time. Does
they're
get
keeping
2
mid. They
tower
could punish
kills.
right now.
Oh my gosh, she's going tier 3.
Thinking twice about it.
Yeah, he did not realize they TP'd into, as you were saying right there, to the tree, so he gets taken out. Meanwhile, back up here, though, because of those TPs, Global Silence, however, user Ravage Cerritos not gonna matter, just gets melted. In the midst of that fight, Snow is gonna be able to take out the Silencer, but at what cost? Snow likely, I mean, is force a man up, no more mana left, he's doing what he can, and Sadman now getting silenced up as well. It's not enough though for the Medusa. Medusa still falls, and Crawler left behind, the last one standing for Penguin Squad, no longer unstoppable indeed. The cut can now push base further.
Yeah, they can push more, and I think that probably seals the entire game there. That team fight was a huge win. They have people alive at the enemy base, and Bristleback will hit really hard here. That was like a moment where they could really have gone there, because people were TPing back to defend against the Brood, and she saw those TPs, and Spiritbreaker was charging the people who were remaining, so I thought they would commit to that charge, but he actually canceled it on the way in. I thought it was a nice initiation for him, but ultimately it turned in awkward, and Mars just evaporated when he went in. He died so fast standing next to DP and Bristleback.
Yeah, the BKB, it's great against magic, not so much against all that physical. And they have plenty of it with that Death Prophet and Bristleback. So yeah, I think greed was the name of the game there. When you're behind, you have to be a bit more greedier. That's understandable. But that second tower kill should have been the fallback cue for Bristle, or for more so for Broodmother. It feels like, you know, if she does fall back into the trees, TP away, you know, who knows? Obviously a hindsight thing to say, sure, but it did seem like overstepping ever so slightly, going for that tier 3 and uphill themselves at that point. But we're 1 Rax away from Mega Creeps. Bristleback, he still has the Aegis, so he wants them to kill him, which they're going to do. And
so up in
it's
10.
gonna come back up. Charge in. He's going to the back lens, going for the silencer. And he's just gonna melt as a result right there. So Centaur got lifted up as he went in. Got Medusa with the Stone Gaze, the arena combo. Last stand here for the side of Penguin Squad is going to be the true last stand, because unfortunately it is going to be the last one. That's what I mean.
Yeah, Medusa goes down, and that should be the nail in the coffin here, as the Exo is still up and ticking as well. But they're gonna back out, and yeah, GG gets called by Penguins. They know they can't really come back from Mega Creeps at 33 minutes. Medusa is great against Megas, but they didn't have enough. And I think this game was very dominant from the start here. The Cut played a strong laning stage and had good movement.